Hi, I'm Dan Neer, and you have tuned into another exciting adventure of Up Close. This time around, we head for the Great White North to catch up with Canada's finest, Rush, and their latest album, Counterparts. Here's Rush bassist and vocalist, Geddy Lee.
Usually when we go to make a record, we don't know what's going to come out. You kind of have a vague sonic idea, but you don't really have a very specific idea.
Guitarist Alex Lifeson.
We discussed at great length the direction of the record on the last tour, on the Roll the Bones tour. A number of times I remember having long discussions on the bus about where we wanted this album to go, what we wanted to do with it. And of course, this is without having written anything. So we were really talking in an abstract way about the feel of the record.
Drummer and lyricist Neil Peart.
The onus is on us as songcrafters to take what we want to say and the music that we want to play and convince people.
Welcome to part one of Media America Radio's presentation of Rush, Up Close.
In the house where nobody laughs and nobody sleeps. In the house where love lies dying and the shadows creep. A little girl hides shaking with her hands on her ears, pushing back the tears till the pain disappears. Mama said some ugly words, Daddy pounds the wall. They can fight about that little girl later. Right now they don't care at all. No matter what they say, no matter what they say, no matter what they say, no matter what they say. Everyday people, everyday shame, everyday promise shut down in flames. Everyday sunrise, another everyday story. Rise from the ashes, a place of everyday glory. Rise from the ashes, a blaze of everyday glory. In the city where nobody smiles and nobody dreams. In the city where desperation drives the poor to extremes. Just one spark of decency against the starless night. One glow of hope and dignity, a child can follow the light. No matter what they say, no matter what they say, no matter what they say, no matter what they say. Everyday people, everyday shame, everyday promise shut down in flames. Everyday sunrise, another everyday story. Rise from the ashes, a blaze of everyday glory. Rise from the ashes, a blaze of everyday glory.
From Counterparts, that was Everyday Glory. Words by Neil Peart, music by Alex Lifeson and Geddy Lee.
We're always listening to new stuff, and I think we always allow ourselves to be influenced by something exciting that's going on. I think all musicians do that. The shift of sort of more interesting hard rock was coming from America. Bands like Soundgarden, even Chili Peppers to a certain degree, and so on and so forth. They were doing interesting things in a hard rock vein, and they had a big kind of aggressive sound. And I would say that that was inspiring to us to see interesting things being done with that form of music that we feel very familiar with. So I would say it had a catalytic effect on making us more determined to get a bigger sound.
Trust to your instinct if it's safely restrained. Lightning reactions must be carefully trained. Heat of the moment, curse of the young. Spit out your anger, don't swallow your tongue. Stick it out, don't swallow the poison. Spit it out, don't swallow your pride. Stick it out, don't swallow your anger. Spit it out, don't swallow the lies. Natural reflex, pendulum swing. You might be too dizzy to do the right thing. Try under fire, ultimate proof. Moment of crisis, don't swallow the truth. Stick it out, don't swallow the poison. Spit it out, don't swallow your pride. Stick it out, don't swallow your anger. Spit it out, don't swallow the lies. Stick it out, stick it out. Each time we bathe our reactions in artificial light, each time we alter the focus to make the wrong move seem right, you get so used to deception, you make yourself a nervous wreck. You get so used to surrender, running back to cover your neck.
Stick It Out can be found on Counterparts, along with Double Agent. This is a job for Rush's double agent, Neil Peart.
I'd been reading Carl Jung last year, and I got interested in the idea of the unconscious, and I started to watch how my own worked. And I noticed that sometimes if I had a difficult decision to make, I'd be weighing up the pros and cons, and my conscious mind would be doing a lot of thinking and worrying. And then suddenly one morning I would wake up and I would know what to do. And a friend of mine was working on a book about the secret war between the CIA and the FBI, and asked me to be his reader, as it were, as he went along. So in reading that, I read a whole bunch of books on background of the CIA and the KGB and all this stuff, and got totally into the world of espionage. So I thought of using the imagery of espionage and the whole romance of Cloak and Dagger and the third man and all that kind of stuff to illustrate the idea of the unconscious. So espionage and Carl Jung kind of got mixed up together in my head, and with nightmares and dream states and so on, and it became a perfect music vehicle, as we've found over the years in so many different contexts. Dreams are a great vehicle to carry musical and vocal ideas along too.
Where would you rather be? Anywhere but here. When will the time be right? Anytime but now. Anywhere but here. Anywhere but here. On the edge of sleep, I was drifting for half the night, anxious and restless, pressed down by the darkness, bound up and wound up so tight. So tight. So many decisions, a million revisions, caught between darkness and light. Wilderness of mirrors, world of polished steel, gears and iron chains, turn the grinding wheel. I run between the shadows, some are phantom, some are real. Where would you rather be? Anywhere but here. When will the time be right? Anytime but now. Where would you rather be? The doubt and the fear, I know it all disappear. Anywhere but here. Anywhere but here. On the edge of sleep, I heard voices behind the door, the known and the nameless, familiar and faceless, my angels and my demons at war. Which one will lose depends on what I choose, or maybe which voice I ignore. Wilderness of mirrors, streets of cold desire, my precious sense of honor, just a shield of rusty wire I hold against the chaos and the cross of holy fire. Where would you rather be? Anywhere but here. When will the time be right? Anytime but woke to a sun so bright, rested and fearless, cheered by your nearness. I knew which direction was right. Was right. The case had been tried by the jury inside. The choice between darkness and light. The choice between darkness and light.
Double Agent from Counterparts. Up Close will take you back to the days when Rush was just a fly-by-night organization. That's right after this.
Up Close is brought to you by the Action Pack. Not what you're supposed to watch, what you really want to watch.
If you'd like to see more programs on TV like
I Gluteus, Part 34.
then hide behind the couch, cause here comes the Action Pack. 52 weeks of original action adventures coming to your TV. Action never seen in theaters, not available on video. Once a week, every week, on the Action Pack. Not what you're supposed to watch, what you really want to watch. Check your local listings for time and station.
A glimpse of the near future from AT&T.
Most people stuck upside down at the top of a Ferris wheel can't do anything but scream. But not calm, cool Camille. At that moment, she knew life was too short to live without Paul. She jotted a note on her portable personal communicator.
Yes, I'll marry you. Wish you were here.
With a touch of a button, the fax was on its way, and Camille was free to enjoy the ride.
Help! Get me down!
Faxing from a Ferris wheel. Can you believe it? You will. It's coming from AT&T.
Contact Coal Patrol, ma'am. You're going the wrong way on a workday.
I'm going back home to take a sick day. I have a cold, pain, fever.
Not on my patrol, ma'am. Try this. All new Contact Non-Drowsy Severe Cold and Flu.
But cold pills can make me too drowsy to drive.
Listen to the name again, ma'am. Contact Non-Drowsy Severe Cold and Flu.
Now I can go back to work.
New Non-Drowsy Contact helps turn sick days into work days.
Use as directed.
Ah, a letter from Alex.
Oh, Alex, what's it say?
Dear Mom and Dad, believe it or not, I've been in the Navy 4 months now. Can't believe I'm actually doing this hydraulics thing. Hydraulics thing? Pretty soon I'll be working on jets, F-18s, get orders in a couple of weeks.
Hoping for California. Keep your fingers crossed. Love you, Alexandra.
If you think the Navy only offers unique and rewarding experiences for men, you only know the half of it. You and the Navy.
Full speed ahead.
For more information, call 1-800-USA-NAVY.
Up Close is back with guitarist Alex Lifeson remembering the rush he got when he first heard one of his songs on the radio.
I think it was Finding My Way from the first album on a local station in Toronto. And I mean, I was thrilled. It was really, really exciting. I just never thought I would ever hear something like that. The fact that we had a record was a big deal. You know, I mean, we were a bar band at the time, and putting a record out was really a big deal. Going to a studio, you know, I remember thinking going into the studio, all the musicians I like and all the bands that I like do this. This is what they do. At one time, sure, they played bars and high schools or whatever. But to go into a studio and record something and make something that's permanent, that was a big deal. And then, of course, hearing it on the radio followed that. And again, because it was in Toronto, it meant even more to me because this was hometown.
Finding My Way from the self-titled Rush album. Here's our cousin from the north, Alex Lifeson.
When we started out, it was impossible for a Canadian band to play south of the border, to do anything south of the border. There was no interest at all. All the major companies had outposts here, and they had no power, they had no deal power, nothing like that. So everything had to be done through the States. And it wasn't until really the independent labels came out that the Canadian music, especially the pop or rock music industry, really started to grow.
That was the title track from Fly By Night. Rush breaks through to the top 5 thanks to the spirit of radio right after this.
A glimpse of the near future from AT&T.
Brian was asleep when his office called. Tomorrow's meeting was moved up to right now. As he rushed to his desktop computer, several faces appeared on the monitor. His partner in New York, a contractor in LA, and the client in Australia.
G'day,
Brian showed them the blueprints. The client smiled.
I like it, mate. And your jammies, too.
Brian just closed the deal of his life wearing yellow ducky pajamas, doing business face-to-face from your desktop at home. Can you believe it? You will. It's coming from AT&T.
Contact Coal Patrol, ma'am. Say, shouldn't you kids be in school?
Yeah, but Mom has a bad cold. She can't drive us.
Moms don't get sick days, ma'am. Not on my patrol.
I have aches and fever, too.
Try this, ma'am. All new Contact Non-Drowsy Severe Cold and Flu.
But cold pills can make me too drowsy to drive.
Listen to the name again, ma'am. Contact Non-Drowsy Severe Cold and Flu.
Okay, get in the car, kids.
New non-drowsy Contact helps turn sick days into work days.
Use as directed.
I don't drive no limousine, don't fancy that Mondrazine, got no use for that rat race routine. I go simple, I go easy, I go Greyhound.
Now, when you plan 2 weeks in advance, you can save up to 50% with Greyhound Go Easy fares. Call now and save up to 50%.
I go easy, I go Greyhound.
Some restrictions apply.
Though the economy seems to be showing signs of improvement, analysts agree those signs are limited.
The latest data shows construction hiring is off again this month.
Another case of good news, bad news. The auto industry shuttered this week as news of cutbacks spread through the industry.
Just a reminder that there are plenty of jobs available in today's Navy. In fact, right now, the Navy has over 25,000 career training opportunities in high-tech fields.
Economic mixed signals continue as...
Now more than ever, you and the Navy.
Full speed ahead.
For more information, call 1-800-USA-NAVY.
Hi, I'm Dan Neer. Rush Up Close is back with Geddy Lee.
There's a station called CFNY in Toronto, and their motto was the spirit of radio. And they were totally free-form at the time when all these big programmers were coming in and, you know, consultants were telling all these stations and all these station managers how to keep their jobs. If you play these records and you'll keep your job. So there was this one station that was playing anything, and you'd hear very abstract things, you know, or you'd hear very hard things or classical. And it sort of reminded us of what it used to be like when FM just started and guys like Murray the K were on the air, you know, and it was really great, and everybody was so into it, and you'd live by the FM radio. You'd always have it on. So it reminded us of that, and we started thinking about, well, what happened to those kind of ideals for radio? And, you know, it was like radio was great until people realized they can make money at it, and then it all changes. So that's what that song was about.
That's from Permanent Waves in 1980, The Spirit of Radio. Here's Rush's wordsmith, Neil Peart.
I certainly do have things that I want to say and feelings and thoughts that I would like to convey to people, but at the same time, I don't consider them all important. They are there, and vocals really, yes, are sounds. It's an instrument, and it's a series of tonalities and consonants and vowels, which are important, and I give due care to that as well, and I work together with Geddy a lot on the singability of lyrics, and even working on my own, the quality of euphoniousness. They should sound nice, and they should sing well.
Permanent Waves' Free Will. Permanent Waves was a #4 album back in 1980, Rush's first to break into the top 40. Now grab your popcorn. Geddy, Alex, and Neil will be starring in the moving pictures in just a moment.
Up Close has been brought to you by the Action Pack. Not what you're supposed to watch, what you really want to watch.
If you were glued to the TV for
Mysteries of the Human Pancreas,
then run to your room and close the door, cause here comes the Action Pack. 52 weeks of original action adventures coming to your TV. Action never seen in theaters, not available on video. Once a week, every week. On the Action Pack. Not what you're supposed to watch. What you really want to watch. Check your local listings for time and station.
A glimpse of the near future from AT&T.
Herbert's motto was, think big. His dream was to build an exact replica of the Roman Colosseum. Using a computer at his library, he linked up with a library in Rome and found the original plans in an ancient book. The new technology even let him turn pages and zoom in on minute details. Herbert sighed.
Boy, building this will sure take a lot of popsicle sticks.
Turning the pages of any book anywhere in the world. Can you believe it? You will. It's coming from AT&T.
Contact Coal Patrol, ma'am. We hear your husband's taking a sick day.
His cold's too bad to go to work.
I'll be the judge of that.
I have pain and fever, too.
Try this. It's all new Contact Non-Drowsy Severe Cold and Flu.
But cold pills can make him too drowsy to drive.
Listen to the name again, ma'am. Contact Non-Drowsy Severe Cold and Flu.
Hey, now I can go to work.
New Non-Drowsy Contact helps turn sick days into work days.
Use as directed.
I don't drive no limousine, don't fancy that fantasy, got no use for that rat race routine. I go simple, I go easy, I go Greyhound.
Now when you plan 2 weeks in advance, you can save up to 50% with Greyhound Go Easy fares. Call now and save up to 50%.
I go easy, I go Greyhound.
Some restrictions apply.
Neil Peart has definite ideas about what makes Rush's sound unique.
The hyperactive rhythm section, just from the ground up, that's certainly one element. I mean, Geddy and I are both much busier than the average bass player and drummer, both individually and together. We do a lot more, and our sounds are very distinctive. Again, following upon the same thing, because we're active, we have a strong voice just on our instrument. So that, I think that sticks out, just the activity going on. And then Alex's sound and approach is unique, again, as a combination of the effects that he uses and the way he approaches them, and his style of playing. The chords that he chooses are unique. You know, we often describe chords as being Alex chords. You know, there's a certain thing that he likes, and same for me. My style is based upon what I like. You know, what I like listening to is what I like to play, and when I put all those things together, they become my style as such. But of course, they're a combination of 100 other people's styles, really.
YYZ from Moving Pictures. Geddy Lee.
Who is today's Tom Sawyer? I don't know. That song to me is just about something in all of us, you know, a sort of an innocence and a, you know, ability to do things at a certain age that appear to be very brave and courageous, but really they're because we don't know all the answers and we're not educated enough to realize that you can fail, you know. So that's the sort of spirit that song speaks to when I think of that song.
A Monday warrior, mean stride. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean pride. Though his mind is not for rent, don't put him down as arrogant. His reserve a quiet defense, writing out the day's events. What do you say about his company is what you say about society. Catch the mist, catch the myth, catch the mystery, catch the drift. The world is love and life are deep. Maybe as his skies are wide. Today's Tom Sawyer, he gets high on you, and the space he invades, he gets by on you. No, his mind is not for rent to any god or government. Always hopeful yet discontent. Those changes aren't permanent. Oh, changes. And what do you say about his company is what you say about society. Catch the witness, catch the wit, catch the spirit, catch the spit. The world is love and life are deep. Maybe as his eyes are wide. Exit the warrior, today's Tom Sawyer, he gets high on you, and the energy you trade, he gets right on to the friction of the day.
Tom Sawyer came from Moving Pictures. Here's Neil Peart.
As we became just a high-pressure sort of touring machine, if you like. All of a sudden, all that free time is gone now, and it's all that we can do to keep up with just being musicians on the road. And composing has to be set aside as a separate part of our lives now. We have to be musicians for 6 months of the year and composers for 3 months of the year, kind of thing, and then vegetables the other 3 months.
Does the high pressure get to the band? Does the discipline pay off? Exactly what kind of vegetables do they become? Tune in for parts 2 and 3 of Rush Up Close to find out. Rush Up Close is produced in New York by Neer Perfec Productions as an exclusive presentation of Media America Radio. The producers are David Bales and Jim Fahey. The executive producers are DeWitt Nelson and me, Dan Neer. Up Close is distributed on compact disc and copyrighted 1994, all rights reserved. No portion may be used without the written permission of the producers. Join us next time on this radio station for part 2 of Rush Up Close. Thanks for listening. Here's Rush's Geddy Lee.
Canadians are just these people that live, north of us. They kind of look like Americans. They kind of talk like Americans, but they're not really Americans.
Well, they seem to do pretty well with 2 of America's greatest inventions, baseball and rock and roll. I'm Dan Neer. Speaking of rock and roll, join me for part 1 of Media America Radio's presentation of Rush Up Close next week. Here's Rush's Geddy Lee.
Canadians are just these people that live, north of us. They kind of look like Americans. They kind of talk like Americans, but they're not really Americans.
Well, they seem to do pretty well with 2 of America's greatest inventions, baseball and rock and roll. I'm Dan Neer. Speaking of rock and roll, join me for part 1 of Media America Radio's presentation of Rush Up Close this week. Here's Rush's Geddy Lee.
Canadians are just these people that live, north of us. They kind of look like Americans. They kind of talk like Americans, but they're not really Americans.
Well, they seem to do pretty well with 2 of America's greatest inventions, baseball and rock and roll. I'm Dan Neer. Speaking of rock and roll, join me for part 1 of Media America Radio's presentation of Rush Up Close tonight. If you were here last time for part 1 of Rush Up Close, you heard about the new album Counterparts and traced with us the roots of Rush up to 1981's Moving Pictures. We'll continue with that album this time, but first, bassist and vocalist Geddy Lee will expound on the personal turmoil that has racked the band since its founding back in 1969.
I would say for the most part we've been on an even keel. We're cursed with this kind of logical, rational thinking, so when we have a problem we kind of talk about it and it gets worked out, and we're almost too down to earth. We make bad press because we're too reasonable, I think, sometimes.
I'm Dan Neer. Welcome to part 2 of Media America Radio's presentation of Rush Up Close. limelight from 1981's moving pictures. Like most bands, Rush wants to create the perfect album. However, as guitarist Alex Lifeson can tell you, sometimes enough's enough.
You do have to know when to stop. Otherwise, you'll spend years working on something. And I think Def Leppard is an example of that. Their records certainly have sounded incredibly produced, well produced. But they've spent, 2-3 years making a record. They get to the guitars and decide that they want to redo the drums, and then they decide they want to redo the guitars, and then the vocals, during the vocal tracks, the drums don't sound right again. And I mean, you can go on and on and on and on and on. I think if you've captured the initial energy and excitement of the song, and you've kind of kept that in mind, once you've put all those elements together and you've gotten them to a point that you're happy with, that's really representative of that period, then you have to move away from it.
That was Red Barchetta from an album that climbed the charts to number 3, Moving Pictures. Here's drummer Neil Peart.
During our early years, for instance, when we were first experimenting with keyboards and Geddy would be too busy with keyboards and the rudimentary foot pedals of the time to be playing bass, so Alex would be taking a bass player's role in songs like Subdivisions and through that period. So he and I developed a relationship as a rhythm section, which guitar players and drummers do not do. But during that period, it worked so well for us because Alex and I developed an understanding of each other's approach and of playing sympathetically to each other, which we still use, even though we've long passed out of that phase. The knowledge and the relationship between us was gained forever, basically. So now we still draw upon that, and I still follow him sometimes, and he still listens to me more, I think, than many guitar players do. So that becomes valuable in the long run.
subdivisions helped create the popularity of Signals, which in 1982 was the second in a run of 6 consecutive top 10 albums for Rush. Next, Rush Up Close will feature further developments in that direction. Now, don't take a chance on missing out. Stay right where you are. Up Close is being brought to you by AT&T. We help put your world within reach. And by Greyhound. Go simple, go easy. Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us.
I don't drive no limousine, don't fancy that fantasy, got no use for that rat race routine. I go simple, I go easy, I go Greyhound.
Now when you plan 2 weeks in advance, you can save up to 50% with Greyhound Go Easy fares. Call now and save up to 50%.
I go easy, I go Greyhound.
Some restrictions apply.
A glimpse of the near future from AT&T.
Andrea was waitressing in a New York deli when she heard about the audition in Hollywood. They were casting a tap-dancing turkey for a soup commercial. She rushed outside to a public video phone and called L.A.
Casting.
Watch this.
The agent watched as Andrea tippy-tapped her way into his heart.
Oh, good.
Perfect.
The crowd outside the booth loved it too.
Very much. You're very kind.
Video calls from a public telephone. Can you believe it? You will. It's coming from AT&T.
Contact Coal Patrol, ma'am. We hear your husband's taking a sick day.
His cold's too bad to go to work.
I'll be the judge of that.
I have pain and fever, too.
Try this. It's all new Contact Non-Drowsy Severe Cold and Flu.
But cold pills can make him too drowsy to drive.
Listen to the name again, ma'am. Contact Non-Drowsy Severe Cold and Flu.
Hey, now I can go to work.
New Non-Drowsy Contact helps turn sick days into work days.
Use as directed. Though the economy seems to be showing signs of improvement, analysts agree those signs are limited.
The latest data shows construction hiring is off again this quarter.
Another case of good news, bad news.
The auto industry shuddered this week as news of cutbacks spread through the industry.
Just a reminder that there are plenty of jobs available in today's Navy. In fact, right now, the Navy has over 25,000 career training opportunities in high-tech fields.
Economic mixed signals continue as...
Now more than ever, you and the Navy.
Full speed ahead.
For more information, call 1-800-USA-NAVY.
Let's return to Rush Up Close with Alex Lifeson.
I think New Old Man was the first single that we ever had that had quite a wide appeal, especially on radio, where it wasn't only those kind of stations that played harder stuff. As a musical piece, it was a departure for us. It was something a little more different, a little poppier, I think.
He's a rebel and a runner. He's a signal turning green. He's a restless young romantic, wants to run the big machine. He's got a problem with his poisons, but you know we'll find a cure. He's cleaning up the systems to keep his nature pure. For the third world man.
Signal's New World Man, Rush's only top 40 single to date. Here's the band's lyricist, Neil Peart.
Sometimes we've been misread as being too dark or sometimes apocalyptic, but they've usually represented shifts of style. Grace Under Pressure was an album of ours that was perceived as being dark, but it was a transitional album for me, especially as a lyricist, and introduced a whole new note of real-world compassion, where suddenly I was looking around at friends of mine and strangers too, and seeing their lives and feeling that my life was fine at the time. You know, a lot of people read these things, oh, he must have been having a rough time then, and quite the contrary. My life was fine, but I was seeing a lot of trouble in my friends' lives, and the mid-'80s were difficult times economically, and people were losing jobs, having trouble getting work, having relationship problems and all that. So those things do redound into your writing, and sometimes you feel that you have to address them, even if they're not tearing you apart.
Across the cities of the plain, there's no swimming in the heavy water, no singing in the acid rain. Red alert, red alert. It's so hard to stay together, passing through revolving doors. We need someone to talk to and someone to sweep the floors. Incomplete. Weighs on my shoulders, but what am I to do? You sometimes drive me crazy, but I worry about you. I know it makes no difference to what you're going through, but I see the tip of the iceberg, and I worry about you. Take a page from the red book and keep them in your sights. Red alert, red alert. Left and right's a passage, black and white's a youth. You can face the knowledge that the truth is not the truth. Obsolete, absolute, yeah. Away
Rush got a chance to show off their grace under pressure with that one, Distant Early Warning from 1984.
I don't drive no limousine, don't fancy that fantasy, got no use for that rat race routine. I go simple, I go easy, I go Greyhound.
Now when you plan 2 weeks in advance, you can save up to 50% with Greyhound Go Easy fares. Call now and save up to 50%.
I go easy, I go Greyhound.
Some restrictions apply.
Contact Coal Patrol, ma'am. You're going the wrong way on a workday.
I'm going back home to take a sick day. I have a cold, pain, fever.
Not on my patrol, ma'am. Try this. All new Contact Non-Drowsy Severe Cold and Flu.
But cold pills can make me too drowsy to drive.
Listen to the name again, ma'am. Contact Non-Drowsy Severe Cold and Flu.
Now I can go back to work.
New non-drowsy Contact helps turn sick days into work days.
Use as directed.
Ordering 1 pecan pie, 2 apples.
Chew on this. Everyday restaurants serve millions of desserts. Too bad they don't serve toothbrushes.
1 peach cobbler.
Now chew on this. Recent studies show that Trident sugarless gum actually helps your mouth fight cavities when you chew it after sugary foods.
Boston cream pie, big slice, please.
Fact is, most foods containing sugars and starches can cause plaque acids, which can lead to cavities. Chewing Trident after those foods actually reduces plaque acids.
I need a chocolate cone.
So when you can't brush, chew on this. Trident.
Brian Lepley, photojournalist and Army Reservist.
My unit covers Army news stories. The skills I've learned as editor of an Army Reserve magazine make me even sharper in my civilian job as a reporter. And as far as people skills, management skills, respect, reserve experience is invaluable. Plus, the discipline you develop stays with you your entire life.
Army Reserve, skill training, and more.
Be all that you can be in the Army Reserve.
For details, call 1-800-USA-ARMY, paid for by the U.S. Army Reserve.
Hi, I'm Dan Neer, back with part 2 of Rush Up Close. I believe I'll turn the mic over to Geddy Lee.
When we finished Signals with Terry Brown, which is the last album we did with Terry, we were at odds with ourselves. We didn't know if we were going in the right direction. We didn't know if we were pushing the band the right way. So we thought we'd redefine our sound and get a new producer. And at that time, all the problems finding the right guy to work for us didn't help anything, but it did help in uniting the band. And we did most of the pre-production by ourselves for Grace Under Pressure. And we sort of got everything together, and we were sort of running the band on our own.
Red Sector A screaming out from the platinum album, Grace Under Pressure, Rush's 13th. With 13 albums, there should be enough outtakes and B-side material for an impressive Rush box set.
What we write is what you get on a Rush album. We don't ever write extra songs. If a song isn't worthy to be on a record, we usually don't finish it, so it gets kind of tossed in the garbage. So we may be the only band with a 20-year existence that has no material in the can, because everything we've written has gone on record. So, we're a great disappointment. After, if we all get killed in a car crash or something, it would be a great disappointment to our record company.
Big money goes around the world. Big money underground.
big money found on power windows. We've got Rush Live. Next on Part 2 of Rush Up Close. Up Close has been brought to you by AT&T. We help put your world within reach. And by Greyhound. Go simple, go easy, go Greyhound. And leave the driving to us.
I don't drive no limousine, don't fancy that fantasy. Got no use for that rat race routine. I go simple, I go easy, I go Greyhound.
Now, when you plan 2 weeks in advance, you can save up to 50% with Greyhound Go Easy fares. Call now and save up to 50%.
I go easy, I go Greyhound.
Some restrictions apply.
Ah, a letter from Alex.
Oh, Alex, what's it say?
Dear Mom and Dad, believe it or not, I've been in the Navy 4 months now. Can't believe I'm actually doing this hydraulics thing. Hydraulics thing? Pretty soon I'll be working on jets, F-18s, get orders in a couple of weeks.
Hoping for California. Keep your fingers crossed. Love you, Alexandra.
If you think the Navy only offers unique and rewarding experiences for men, you only know the half of it. You and the Navy.
Full speed ahead.
For more information, call 1-800-USA-NAVY.
A glimpse of the near future from AT&T.
The guys called him Lousy Luck Louie. If there was a traffic jam somewhere, he'd be stuck in it. So when Louie had to drive to an out-of-state meeting, they bet he'd never make it. But Louie wasn't worried. The video navigator in his dashboard told him exactly where to go.
Traffic jam ahead. Take route shown on monitor.
Louie won the bet and lost the lousy nickname. A dashboard navigator that speeds you on your way. Can you believe it? You will. It's coming from AT&T.
LaTondra Jones, college student and Army reservist.
The money I get through the Montgomery GI Bill is a tremendous help, and reserve training is very rewarding. If there's one thing it has taught me, it's being committed to getting a job done and doing the best I can. I plan to pursue my PhD, and I'll need that kind of discipline.
Army Reserve, money for college, and more.
Be all that you can be in the Army Reserve.
For details, call 1-800-USA-ARMY, paid for by the U.S. Army Reserve.
Up Close is back with Neil Peart of Rush.
Communication is what music is, certainly, and the lyrics and writing the bio and basically every aspect of what we do is essential communication that it can't really be two-way in the sense of communication, but it can be a successful. It takes certainly two people to make it successful. If you're transmitting an idea, you need a receiver, and for that receiver, you need a good media in between. So that's where the craft comes into it too, of carefully refining that idea or that thought or that feeling so that it communicates to the listener.
Turn my back to the wind, to catch my breath before I start off again. Living on without a moment to spend, to pass an evening with a drink and a friend. I let my skin get too thin. I'd like to pause, no matter what I pretend. Like some pilgrim who loves to transcend, learns to live as if each step was a year. Time to pause.
time stands still from Hold Your Fire.
The butterfly part is long gone. That doesn't happen anymore. Maybe the first night for about 10 seconds.
That's Alex Lifeson on pre-show jitters.
For the most part, thinking about something that you wanted to change from the night before. Remember when you get to that point in the set that you wanted to do this or do that, accent here, accent there. I mean, it's down to that. The lights go off, we go on stage. I mean, it's very, very quiet in our dressing room before we go on.
But not in Getty's head.
A tremendous amount of neurotic energy is screaming around my head at that point. And I think you're focusing and trying to get yourself in the mindset, because every gig is a new opportunity. Every time you're about to step on a stage is a new opportunity for you to do a perfect show. And I think that's what you're trying to focus on, and you're trying to find that kind of Zen state that lies somewhere between concentrating too much and not concentrating enough.
Closer to the Heart from Rush's 1989 live album, A Show of Hands. Ah, the life of a rock and roll musician.
It's a lot less glamorous than I think most people would think. And we certainly had our days in the early days where maybe we couldn't walk so well coming off stage, and sometimes going on stage. But these days, I think we kind of conserve our energy a little more.
Part 2 of Rush Up Close was produced in New York by Neer Perfec Productions as an exclusive presentation of Media America Radio. The producers are David Bales and Jim Fahey. The executive producers are DeWitt Nelson and me, Dan Neer. Up Close is distributed on compact disc and copyrighted 1994, all rights reserved. No portion may be used without the written permission of the producers. Join us next time on this radio station for Part 3 of Rush Up Close. Thanks for listening. Hello, I'm Dan Neer, and this is Geddy Lee of Rush.
What we write is what you get on a Rush album. We don't ever write extra songs. If a song isn't worthy to be on a record, we usually don't finish it, so it gets kind of tossed in the garbage.
Join us for the ones that made the grade on Part 2 of Media America Radio's presentation of Rush Up Close. Tune in next week. Hello, I'm Dan Neer, and this is Geddy Lee of Rush.
What we write is what you get on a Rush album. We don't ever write extra songs. If a song isn't worthy to be on a record, we usually don't finish it, so it gets kind of tossed in the garbage.
Join us for the ones that made the grade on Part 2 of Media America Radio's presentation of Rush Up Close. Tune in this week. Hello, I'm Dan Neer, and this is Geddy Lee of Rush.
What we write is what you get on a Rush album. We don't ever write extra songs. If a song isn't worthy to be on a record, we usually don't finish it, so it gets kind of tossed in the garbage.
Join us for the ones that made the grade on Part 2 of Media America Radio's presentation of Rush Up Close. Tune in tonight. Rush bassist Geddy Lee.
I guess if you look at a band like the Grateful Dead, they're really an enormously popular cult band, and I guess in our own way we are the same thing, because our career has been kind of, has ridden along the mainstream as opposed to in the center of it, and we've been able to stay reasonably successful for almost 20 years now, and not be what you'd call a mainstream band. So I guess that does make us a cult band.
Some cult band. Rush has 6 gold and 9 platinum albums to their credit, not counting their current CD, Counterparts, which seems to be headed for those same heights. I'm Dan Neer, and this is Part 3 of Media America Radio's presentation of Rush Up Close.
If I could wave my magic wand, I am made from the dust of the stars, and the oceans flow in my veins. Here I hide in the heart of the city, like a stranger coming out of the rain. The evening plane rises up from the runway over constellations of light. I look down into a million houses and wonder what you're doing tonight. If I could wave my magic wand, I'd make everything alright. I'm not one to
That was the title track to 1989's Presto. Like almost all of their 20 albums, Rush used a co-producer to augment their own ears. Here's drummer Neil Peart.
We don't need someone to tell us what our instrument should sound like. We don't really need someone to tell us if we're playing it right. You know, those things we've certainly learned over the years. But we do need someone to judge the holistic part of it, whether all those parts are adding up to what we think they are, because they don't always. And a lot of times we very much believe in a song, but something goes wrong in the interpretive part of it, and it just doesn't add up right in the end, and consequently it doesn't reach the listeners that we hope would get excited about it as much as we.
How many times do you hear it? It goes on up
Good advice for any writer. Show, don't tell, from Presto. This is guitarist Alex Lifeson.
You know, we're lucky. We've had an opportunity to do something for 20 years that a lot of people just don't do. I mean, very few people have even lasted as long as a band and still feel like they're viable. And I think that's the thing with us, is I think we look at this album as being just as important as any one of our other albums. And it's not something that we created to keep the momentum of the band going or to make more money or any of those things. It was because we're a band and we like making music, and this is the kind of music we make. And, you know, every once in a while you remember that, and it really makes you feel good.
If the moment of glory is over before it's begun, if the dream is won, though everything is lost, we will pay the price, but we will not count the cost. We will pay the price, but we will not count the cost. When the dust has cleared and victory denied, a summit too lofty, river a little too wide. If we keep our pride, though paradise is lost, we will pay the price, but we will not count the cost. We will pay the price, but we will not count the cost.
Showing a little bravado in 1991, that was Rush from Roll the Bones. There's more from that crapshoot coming up on Part 3 of Rush Up Close. Up Close is being brought to you by Greyhound. Go simple, go easy, go Greyhound, and leave the driving to us. And by AT&T. We help put your world within reach.
I don't drive no limousine, don't fancy that fine cuisine. Got no use for that rat race routine. I go simple, I go easy, I go Greyhound.
Now, when you plan 2 weeks in advance, you can save up to 50% with Greyhound Go Easy fares. Call now and save up to 50%.
I go easy, I go Greyhound.
Some restrictions apply.
A glimpse of the near future from AT&T.
Most people stuck upside down at the top of a Ferris wheel can't do anything but scream. But not calm, cool Camille. At that moment, she knew life was too short to live without Paul. She jotted a note on her portable personal communicator.
Yes, I'll marry you. Wish you were here.
With a touch of a button, the fax was on its way, and Camille was free to enjoy the ride.
Help! Get me down!
Faxing from a Ferris wheel. Can you believe it? You will. It's coming from AT&T. At Citibank Visa, we let our customers give us credit card statements.
There are so many people trying to rip you off now that it's very hard by yourself to counter all these things.
Citibank called one night at 7 o'clock. Apparently someone had bought 9 tickets to Vegas, gambled, and invited 9 of their best friends. Citibank realized that I'd not made those charges, and it got taken care of.
It just makes you feel like you have an ally out there.
Just a few of the many people who rely on the Fraud Protection Program from not just Visa, Citibank Visa.
Billy, I need 2 burgers medium, 1 slice of apple pie.
Chew on this. Nearly 7 out of 10 of us usually don't brush after lunch, especially lunches on the run.
3 orders of fries.
Now chew on this. Recent studies show that Trident sugarless gum actually helps your mouth fight cavities when you chew it after meals.
1 tuna salad, white toast.
Fact is, most meals containing sugars and starches can cause plaque acids, which can lead to cavities. Chewing Trident after those meals actually reduces plaque acids.
Extra mayo, please.
So when you can't brush, chew on this. Trident.
Geddy Lee brings us back up close with Rush.
We want it to be like The Who or like The Cream or like those bands, the Yardbirds. Those are the bands that we want it to be like. And you didn't think about duration. You didn't think in terms of time. You just thought in terms of you know, I want it to be popular like them, or I want it to make great records like them. That's about the only things you thought of. You know, and when you first start, just the idea of making an album, it seems like an impossible thing, you know. Yeah, you can get a band together, yeah, you can get gigs in high schools, but could you actually ever get to record a record? I mean, this was an impossible dream. And once we recorded a record, it was all kind of fantasy land after that.
17 years to the day after that first album debuted, Rush released Roll the Bones and this song, Dreamline.
He's got a roadmap of Jupiter, radar fix on the stars, all along the highway. She's got a liquid crystal compass, a picture book of the rivers under the Sahara. They travel in the time of the prophets on the desert highway straight to the heart of the sun. Like lovers and heroes, I'm the restless part of everyone. We're only at home and we're on the run. On the run. He's got a star map of Hollywood, a list of cheap motels all along the freeway. She's got a sister out in Vegas, promise of a decent job, far away from her hometown. They travel on the road to redemption, a highway out of yesterday that tomorrow will bring. Like lovers and heroes, birds in the last days of spring. We're only at home when we're on the wing. On the wing. We are young, wandering the face of the earth.
The next song I want to talk about is called Heresy. The song asks the question, all those wasted years, all those precious wasted years, who will pay? And from reading what Neil has written about this song, he was saying, he was talking about the fall of all the communist governments in Eastern Europe.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that horrible and wonderful moment all mixed into one when somebody realizes that they've been, you know, had their freedom removed for so many years, and they finally get it back, and it must be such a bittersweet moment, you know, all those years all those lives that were lost, and all the struggle, all the people that were fighting in all those years, and suddenly it's all over. And what do they do about all the people that did not survive and were not lucky enough to be around when the wall fell down? You know, it's an unanswerable question.
From Moscow to Berlin, people storm the barricades, walls go tumbling in. The counter-revolution, people smiling through their tears. Who can give them back their lives and all those wasted years? All those wasted years, all those precious wasted years, who will pay? All around that dull grey world of ideology, people storm the marketplace and buy up fantasies. The counter-revolution at the counter of a store. People buy the things they want and borrow for a little more. All those wasted years, all those precious wasted years, who will pay? To be forgiving at last. What else can we do? Do we have to say goodbye to the past? Yes, I guess we do. Do we have to be forgiving at last? What else can we do? Do we have to say goodbye to the past? Yes, I guess we do.
More action at the Rush Casino coming up, so lay your bets on the table and prepare to roll them bones.
I don't drive no limousine, don't fancy that fine cuisine, got no use for that rat race routine. I go simple, I go easy, I go Greyhound.
Now, when you plan 2 weeks in advance, you can save up to 50% with Greyhound Go Easy fares. Call now and save up to 50%.
I go easy, I go Greyhound.
Some restrictions apply.
You have an important interview coming up, and you want to make an impression. So you get yourself a good suit. Good thing you have your Citibank Visa card. Citibank knows what it's like when you're starting out. They've issued more than 8 million credit cards to young adults, and they don't require a cosigner. So you have a lot to smile about, because your Citibank Visa card can have your picture on it.
To apply, call 1-800-CITIBANK, 1-800-CITIBANK. Not just Visa, Citibank Visa.
Ordering 1 pecan pie, 2 apples.
Chew on this. Everyday restaurants serve millions of desserts. Too bad they don't serve toothbrushes.
1 peach cobbler.
Now, chew on this. Recent studies show that Trident sugarless gum actually helps your mouth fight cavities when you chew it after sugary foods.
Boston cream pie, big slice, please.
Fact is, most foods containing sugars and starches can cause plaque acids, which can lead to cavities. Chewing Trident after those foods actually reduces plaque acids.
I need a chocolate cone.
So when you can't brush, chew on this. Trident.
Though the economy seems to be showing signs of improvement, analysts agree those signs are limited.
The latest data shows construction hiring is off again this quarter.
Another case of good news, bad news. The auto industry shuttered this week as news of cutbacks spread through the industry.
Just a reminder that there are plenty of jobs available in today's Navy. In fact, right now, the Navy has over 25,000 career training opportunities in high-tech fields.
Economic mixed signals continue as...
Now more than ever, you and the Navy.
Full speed ahead.
For more information, call 1-800-USA-NAVY.
I'm Dan Neer, and you are listening to Rush Up Close. Here, to guide us even closer, is Neil Peart.
A certain proportion of our audience would be musicians. A certain percentage of them would be thoughtful people. But there's still a lot of people who are not conscious of the elements of a bass player's craft or a drummer's craft or a lyricist's craft. And I know for myself, as a young music fan, I never really paid attention to lyrics. If I liked the song, then I might notice the lyrics, but I would never dissect them or anything. So I don't expect that from a listener either. Really, I think a listener can get a holistic sense, or a Rush fan would get a sense of care has been taken here. You know, that's the bottom line, that they know that when it comes even to the album cover or our T-shirts and tour books, down to the music and the lyrics and the production, every aspect of it we take personal care about. And that's the message that I think, however disengaged the listener is from musical values or lyrical values, they still will know that care has been taken here. There's a sense of quality about all these things, at least, that even if it's never identified in a Rush fan's mind, I think they're certainly aware of that.
You can stake that claim. Good work is the key to good fortune. Winners take that praise, losers seldom take that blame. They don't take that game, and sometimes a winner takes nothing. We draw our own designs, fortune has to make that rain. We go out in the world and take our chances. Fate is just the weight of circumstances. That's the way that Lady Luck dances. No wrongs. does it happen?
Relax, get busy with the facts. No zodiacs or almanacs, no maniacs or polyester slash is the facts. Gonna kick some Julius Max. It's a parallax, you dig? You move around, the small gets big, it's a rig. It's action, reaction, random interaction. So who's afraid of a little abstraction? Can't get no satisfaction from the facts. You better run, homeboy. Facts are fact from known to known. What's the deal? Spin the wheel if the dice are hot. Take a shot, play your cards, show us what you got, what you're holding. If the cards are cold, don't go folding. Lady Luck is golden, she favors a bold, that's cold. Stop throwing stones, and I has 1,000 saxophones. So get out there and rock and roll the bones. Get busy.
Roll the bones. Why are we here? Because we're here. Roll the bones. Roll the bones. Why does it happen? Because it happens. Roll the bones. Roll the bones. Why are we here? Because we're here. Roll the bones. Roll the bones. Why does it happen? Because it happens. Roll the bones. Roll the bones. Why does it happen? Because it happens. Roll the bones. Roll the bones. Why are we here? Because we're here. Roll the bones. Roll the bones. Why does it happen? Because it happens. Roll the bones.
From 1991, that was Roll the Bones. Here's Geddy Lee to take us beyond the bones to Rush's latest, Counterparts.
What is this thing we just did? I think, Counterparts to me is a restatement of certain elements of the band that we felt were leaving our grip. And I think it's a passionate record, and I think the passion is probably the most important element of the album.
And here's Alex Lifeson to tell us where the passion begins.
For the most part, once Geddy and I sit down together and start jamming together, that's really where most of the stuff comes. No matter how much time I spend at home or he spends at home, it's not until we get there that all the stuff really happens. And we'll pull bits and pieces from those home ideas, but there's an energy that's created between the two of us when we write, and really that's where it takes off from.
It is the fire that lights itself, but it burns with a restless flame. The arrow on a moving target, the archer must be sure of his aim. It is the engine that drives itself, but it chooses the uphill climb. A bearing on magnetic north, growing farther away all the time. Can't stop moving, can't stop moving, can't stop. You may be right, it's all a waste of time. I guess that's just a chance I'm prepared to take, a danger I'm prepared to face. Cut to the chase, just a danger I'm prepared to face. Cut to the chase. It is the rocket that ignites itself and launches its way to the stars. A driver on the busy freeway, racing the oblivious cars. things used to be. I have to remember the future. The past has no claim on me. I'm old enough not to care too much about what you think of me. But I'm enough to remember the future, the way things ought to be. Cut to the chase. You may be right. It's all a waste of time. I guess that's just a chance I'm prepared to take. A danger I'm prepared to face. Cut to the chase. What kind of difference can one person make? Cut to the chase. You may be right. It's all a waste of time. I guess that's just a chance I'm prepared to take. A danger I'm prepared to face. Cut to the chase. What kind of difference can one person make? Cut to the chase.
Cut to the chase from the latest Rush CD, Counterparts. We'll be back at the speed of love after this, so hold on to your hearts. Up Close has been brought to you by Greyhound. Go simple, go easy, go Greyhound, and leave the driving to us. And by AT&T. We help put your world within reach.
A glimpse of the near future from AT&T.
Brian was asleep when his office called. Tomorrow's meeting was moved up to right now. As he rushed to his desktop computer, several faces appeared on the monitor. His partner in New York, a contractor in LA, and the client in Australia.
G'day,
Brian showed them the blueprints. The client smiled.
I like it, mate. And your jammies, too.
Brian just closed the deal of his life wearing yellow ducky pajamas, doing business face-to-face from your desktop at home. Can you believe it? You will. It's coming from AT&T.
Billy, I need 2 burgers medium, 1 slice of apple pie.
Chew on this. Nearly 7 out of 10 of us usually don't brush after lunch, especially lunches on the run.
3 orders of fries.
Now chew on this. Recent studies show that Trident sugarless gum actually helps your mouth fight cavities when you chew it after meals.
1 tuna salad, white toast.
Fact is, most meals containing sugars and starches can cause plaque acids, which can lead to cavities. Chewing Trident after those meals actually reduces plaque acids.
Extra mayo, please.
So when you can't brush, chew on this. Trident.
All your life, people have been making decisions for you. Now it's your turn to take control. And when you get your first credit card, choose Citibank. They know what it's like when you're starting out. They've issued more than 8 million credit cards to young adults. And they don't require a cosigner. So smile, especially since your Citibank card can now have your picture on it.
To apply, call 1-800-CITIBANK. 1-800-CITIBANK. Not just Visa, Citibank Visa.
Ah, a letter from Alex.
Oh, Alex, what's it say?
Dear Mom and Dad, believe it or not, I've been in the Navy 4 months now. Can't believe I'm actually doing this hydraulics thing. Hydraulics thing? Pretty soon I'll be working on jets, F-18s, get orders in a couple of weeks.
Hoping for California. Keep your fingers crossed. Love you, Alexandra.
If you think the Navy only offers unique and rewarding experiences for men, you only know the half of it. You and the Navy.
Full speed ahead.
For more information, call 1-800-USA-NAVY.
Up Close returns with Rush's Neil Peart.
I just saw one of Frank Zappa's last interviews the other day, and he was talking about love songs, and the reason he would never write one is he thought they were essentially evil, and that they raised this imaginary ideal of a perfect relationship which doesn't exist in reality, and that's songs like Cold Fire have to do with, is trying to tell a song about love. Not a song of love, and Speed of Love actually and Cold Fire are both the same that way. They're songs about love, about the subject of it. Again, demythologizing, debunking. And in Cold Fire, I have the smart woman telling the guy what love is all about.
It was long after midnight when we got to unconditional love. said, sure, my heart is boundless, but don't push my limits too far. I said, if love is so transcendent, I don't understand these boundaries. She said, just don't disappoint me. You know how complex women are. I'll be around. You don't let me down too far. I'll be around. You don't let me down. It was just before sunrise when we started on tradition roads. She said, sure, I'll be a partner, but don't make too many demands. I said, if love has these conditions, I don't understand those songs you love. She said, this is not a love song, this isn't fantasy land. Don't look too far. Phosphorescent wave on a tropical sea is a cold fire. The pattern of moonlight on the bedroom floor is a cold fire. The flame at the heart of a pawnbroker's diamond is a cold fire. Look in your eyes as you head for the door is a cold fire. I'll be around if you don't push me down too far. I'll be around if you don't push me down. I'll be around if you don't push me down too far. I'll be around if you don't push me down. Phosphorescent wave on a tropical sea is a cold fire. The pattern of moonlight on the bedroom floor is a cold fire. The flame at the heart of a pawnbroker's diamond is a cold fire. Look in your eyes as you head for the door is a cold fire. I'll be around if you don't let me down too far. I'll be around if you don't let me down. I'll be around if you don't push me down too far. I'll be around if you don't push me down. I'll be around if you don't let me down.
Cold Fire from Counterparts. Here's Geddy Lee.
My mother tells me that I wanted to be a scientist when I was really young, so I guess she was right in a way. I kind of turned into a scientist, but I prefer to look at Alex as the scientist of the band. But, I don't know. You know, I think when I was a teenager, I wanted to be in a rock band. I wanted to play rock music, and that's it. And I was lucky. It all came true for me, so fortunately, I haven't had to think of any other options. The fact that we've been able to be a band for this long is tremendously satisfying in itself. I mean, you know, I think really it's something to celebrate, the fact that we've been able to stay together through all various things we've been through and still have an audience and still be considered contemporary. To me, that's tremendously rewarding, just that fact in itself.
Love is born with lightning bolts, electromagnetic force, burning skin and fireworks, a storm on a raging course, like a force of nature. moments that we share. Got to keep on moving at the speed of love. Nothing changes faster than the speed of love. Got to keep on shining at the speed of love. At the speed of love. A radiance that travels at the speed of love. My heart goes out to you. At the speed of love. Nothing changes faster than the speed of love. My heart goes out to you. At the speed of love. At the
Speed of Love from Counterparts, Rush's 20th album in 20 years. The band is currently touring in support of that album, and there's more. Alex Lifeson.
The next tour that we do is going to be more of a retrospective tour. It's our 20th anniversary. We'd like to go out and do an evening with and break up the set, and do the first 10 years in chronological order from the first album up to, I guess, Grace Under Pressure. And then take a short intermission and have some film stuff on the band, on the history of the band. I think that a lot of our fans would kind of like to see some candid stuff, and then come back and do the second set from that point up to the present. So it'll be, I think, a really great presentation of the history of the band, of that whole 20-year period. And hopefully it'll be the start of the next 20-year period.
We'd like to thank Ray Daniels and Kim Garner of SRO Management, Danny Bush, Perry Cooper, and Lisa Gray of Atlantic Records, and Benny Bennett of Westbury National Show Systems Limited. Part 3 of Rush Up Close was produced in New York by Neer Perfect Productions as an exclusive presentation of Media America Radio. The producers are David Bales and Jim Fahey, assisted by Bruce Simon. The executive producers are DeWitt Nelson and me, Dan Neer. Up Close is distributed on compact disc and copyrighted 1994, all rights reserved. No portion may be used without the written permission of the producers. Join us next time on this radio station as we get up close with your favorite rockers. Thanks for listening. Hi, I'm Dan Neer. Welcome to the laboratory of Rush's Geddy Lee.
My mother tells me that I wanted to be a scientist when I was really young, so I guess she was right in a way. I kind of turned into a scientist, but I prefer to look at Alex as the scientist of the band.
Delve into the magic world of science with Rush on Up Close next week. Hi, I'm Dan Neer. Welcome to the laboratory of Rush's Geddy Lee.
My mother tells me that I wanted to be a scientist when I was really young, so I guess she was right in a way. I kind of turned into a scientist, but I prefer to look at Alex as the scientist of the band.
Delve into the magic world of science with Rush on Up Close this week. Hi, I'm Dan Neer. Welcome to the laboratory of Rush's Geddy Lee.
My mother tells me that I wanted to be a scientist when I was really young, so I guess she was right in a way. I kind of turned into a scientist, but I prefer to look at Alex as the scientist of the band.
Delve into the magic world of science with Rush on Up Close tonight.